April 27th, 2022. David King is among the central characters of our brand new tome, but he is also a first step toward more representation in Dead by Daylight. One of the cornerstones of our vast and diverse community are our LGBTQIA2+ players, who continue to evaluate Dead by Daylight with their tireless passion for horror, gaming, and of course, horror gaming. The fact that our character roster did not feature any LGBTQIA2+ representation was something we were determined to change upon consulting extensively with the GamerX organization, who shared their expertise in interrogating LGBTQIA2+ themes into established games. We felt confident in our chosen direction. Today, we're pleased to confirm that Dead by Daylight can officially celebrate the game's first gay character, David King. From mobile mishaps, mobile treating characters more better than the main game, character drama, including skins, fan service, and everything else in that matter. Hey there, Doodle Gang. Doodle here, and today we are going to be talking about the most neglected characters in Dead by Daylight. Mainly survivors, because I feel like the killers were totally fine in that, section, but the survivors have had more drama and so on in the community, and I thought it would be fun to do a little research video and kind of give you the history of some controversial stuff and just a little bit of DBD history for you. And as you can tell in the beginning of the video, I did read one of DeadbyDaylight's posts about David coming out, and that is definitely another thing I will be talking about in this video, because I thought, it would be very dramatic for me to read that and then go, hey, this is what we're going to be talking about today. So this video is a little bit planned. I definitely scripted and researched a lot on this one, because I usually don't do scripted videos as much, but I really did want to try to do one, and holy cow, so many times I have stuttered and everything known to man trying to read this crap, so I'm terribly sorry if some audio sounds like splits and stuff like that. It's just, I cannot read to save my life, and I have to do it over and over and over again until I get it right, and it's just super annoying. But besides that, this video is just mainly going to go through some main drama that's been happening, with Tomes, the current Tome updates, and some characters that I feel like that are super important to talk about. And if there is a character that you feel like that's being neglected or something in that matter, I would love to know. But I'm just picking the more up there characters that are just, more drama included, I guess. But alright, I'm not gonna keep you waiting. Let's get to it. And first up, we have the one and only David King. And as I said in the beginning of the video, I did read one of Behavior's posts on David coming out. And I wanted to pretty much talk more about David due to the fact that since his coming out day, he has not been included in anything after that. Now, there has been, the holiday skins and stuff like that. And probably the most recent thing we have gotten of David is actually his Tome skin from his coming out Tome. Came out in the store just recently, but that's not really counting as anything. And it is a total surprise that for Pride Month, Behavior didn't even do anything for David. It was just pretty much a slap in the face for the community. And I'm looking over my notes, I have said mention about that and say maybe Behavior just did that to get people off their backs or whatnot about characters, but I don't feel like Behavior would have done that. It's more of just, there is a lot of stuff going on, and especially with the road plans for Dead by Daylight, and David has gotten 2 skins last year, especially when winning a community poll, which was totally kind of different because it could have not happened, but it would have happened in the future. But at the same time, it's just really weird that they just never mentioned David in that point in time during Pride Month. Now, I don't tune into any of the Pride Month streams or anything because I'm a busy goober, and of course if they did mention David in there, then of course I'm not going to know. So if they did, then I'm totally wrong on saying that Behavior does not acknowledge David. But at the same time, I mean, yeah, it's it's really, really, really weird. But at the same time, they should have done something due to the fact that David's a very beloved character in the Dead by Daylight community, and especially him coming out, there shouldn't have been more with that. And I know a lot of people will disagree with me, more people who don't really agree with LGBT and stuff like that, going, oh, you don't have to, shove it in our faces all the time. But at the same time, Dead by Daylight has not had this much in all its, lifespan until, David came out. So, it's not really like putting it in your face the whole time. It's more of just, it's kind of odd how you would show us this character that has finally come out and never bring him back again. Like, are you going to do that with the next character that ever comes out? Are we ever going to get another character? Because, sure, definitely in the future we will get another character. Maybe a trans character or non-binary character, something in that matter. We will. There is no doubt, but it's just kind of odd how it's come to that point where you show us David's like, hey, this guy likes dudes, alright, peace out. And then drop off a Christmas skin, and then never return to David ever again. So, David is definitely one of the top, very ignored Dead by Daylight characters when it comes to that. And especially, the bigger importance is that he was, he came out, and then behavior kind of just left him there. So, that's more of my David explanation. There's nothing really much else to say. It's kind of more of just how he came out and everything, and he just never came back. So, take it as you will, gamers. It's just super silly and kind of disappointing to see it that way, but David means a whole lot to this community, and it's super sad to see it that way. And I know a whole lot of David stands out there, so it really breaks my heart that they're sad about this stupid stuff that just... You finally have a canon gay character, and you don't do anything with him. You don't have to always make it as, you have to make it all rainbows. No, you don't have to. It's just really super sad that nothing has been done with it. So, I mean, heck, maybe one day Behavior will go, hey, David and Dwight are dating. Here you go, guys. Sorry for abandoning you on the David news here. I mean, yeah, you never know. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they made a mechanic couple or whatever, because it's just... Ignore the fact that it's thundering outside. If you can hear that, it's raining. But anyway, yeah, there's the David dilemma. I know people would immediately, think of that, so that's why I put it first in the video, and this video isn't really, it is put together well, of course, because I actually did my research for this, but it's more of just, I'm getting the big one out of the way, and we're going to get to the next one, which is my personal problem. I'm going to give you my personal problem, and it's about Jake. Jake Park came into the game. He was one of the 4 main survivors. Well, he is one of the main 4 survivors. And unfortunately, he has not been given the attention he deserves recently. And of course, I know he is an original survivor. He has more stuff than most survivors, but at the same time, if you just take all the survivors away and only have the main 4, Claudette, Dwight, Meg, and Jake, what do you get from that? You get Dwight and Meg being the more popular ones and getting more stuff. You got their masquerade mask, their recent collection, which is totally stupid, thinking because Jake is a sci-fi person as well. If you don't read up on his lore and skin lore, then you're not a true Jake fan. But them being added into that and not Jake, Claudette as well into that, and Jake not being added into it is super frustrating to someone who is a diehard Jake fan. See, pretend about the David situation, but you're just a Jake fan, like me and the 6 others. So instead of giving Jake any attention, Jake has kind of been the least favorable out of Behavior, out of the main 4 for Behavior, and it's just super sad to see it that way, because Jake is a really interesting character, and we barely have any lore on him, and that is another thing with Dwight, Meg, and Claudette having so much lore to them. Jake barely has anything. Of course, yes, Jake was lucky enough to get his own tome, get his own skins, and stuff like that, but over the recent years, it's just been riff recolors and nothing else from him that Behavior has been giving. And there is another issue that comes to it, is that after Jake's tome, it's so funny how he just slowly poofed out of existence, only having, a few store skins and whatnot, but after Elise's most, recent, I'm pretty sure it was his cabin one with the Claudette section of the collection one. You know what I'm talking about, with his fuzzy hat and everything. After that, it was just Rift recolors, and by the time that was just 3 Rift colors. And what the main issue for Jake is, his most recent stuff has just been paywall. And as I mean in paywall is, you want this skin, you gotta buy the Rift. And it's just going to be, I don't know, his heart pajamas. That's paywall. Oh, you want his surfer skin? You gotta buy Hooked on You. And some of us, especially me, don't have a PC and would die for that skin because it's so good. It's one of Jake's best skins. And it's behind a paywall. And lastly, his Amazon Prime, which, oh, you don't have Amazon Prime? And we have like a month limit on this thing, so you don't have that? Oh, you're not gonna have this skin. You're not gonna have this tiger skin. Screw you. So another paywall. Paywalls. Jake has just been in that so much lately. It's super sad. And his most recent being the Attack on Titan skin, in a few days. Pretty sure when I post this, it's gone. And it's been a year. So Jake's most recent skin, poofing out of existence, adds to that toll of his store skins. And it's making it as, it's been over a year. Well over a year. His lore, screw you. We're not gonna tell you any more of his lore. You want to learn more about him? You want more sci-fi stuff with Cosmic Afterburn and what he liked as a kid? Pff, screw you. We're not gonna tell you any more of that. We're only gonna give you 2 recolors telling you 2 small little different details about Jake, and we're just gonna throw them out. Again, a diehard Jake fan here, and it just makes me so angry of how behavior has tossed my mans to the side and has not acknowledged him since then. And of course, we all have our preferences on characters, and Jake, he means a lot to me, and it's just super sad to see how the main game neglects him so badly compared to the mobile game, because mobile treats him like a god. You have skin after skin after skin and everything. It's just so surprising how a mobile game can treat a character better than its actual main game. And I'm not complaining. Jake, not, every character needs to have a skin immediately, but comparing to someone like Jake and David, who hasn't had anything in over a year, if you X, the Christmas skin from David, it's super duper disappointing to behavior and stuff like that. Because, they're golden childs, or like Dwight, Meg, and freaking Kate, and Fegman, and whatnot, and that matter. It's just so sad to see it that way. And I would do anything just to get, like, a little scrumptious detail about Jake. Anything about his special interest. And another, one more issue I will address is about how they really take the woodsman stuff seriously. Like, of course, Jake's a wilderness guy. I love that about him, and he's really cool. But learning that he loves something else, such as sci-fi, and learning about Cosmic Afterburn and stuff like that, it makes me want to know more. It makes me want to know more about his interests, and if he likes drawing, or if, he likes cosplay, because it seems like he really does like cosplay. And in his most recent recolor that, kind of explained more, it was his ski suit, like the glowing one with the blue hair, with the 80s glasses, stuff like that. And I never read the description till earlier, and it said that he drew that as a kid, and now he's wearing it. And I thought, like, gosh, that would probably be really emotional for the dude, because in my head, he really likes to draw, and he likes to make things, and he's like, almost like Fegman, who likes to cosplay and stuff like that. So it's just, those small little details, it means the whole world to me, and especially to someone who's been here since 2019. Jake has been a very important character in my life, so it's just, yeah, Jake Main expresses their heart out, But regardless, I hope in the future we at least get something for Jake, and it's not going to be another wilderness skin or something in that matter. Hell, I wouldn't even care if it's a recolor. I just want something for my guy. I don't want another paywall. Like anything but another paywall skin. Just something from the store. It would make my day. It really would. And make the other 6 Jake mains happy as well. And of course I'm speaking out for all the Jake mains. You're not alone, dude. I'm frustrated as well. My mans hasn't done anything in over a year, and his most recent skin is going to be taken from the store. And even though I don't even watch Attack on Titan, I got the skin. Because, again, it's his most recent skin. And, I don't want to lose something like that. And it's so insane. It really is. So, Behavior, if you're ever watching this, anyone from Behavior watching this, Jake mains are angry, so, yeah! Jake mains are super angry with you, so please, for the love of God, give him something new, give David something new, make us happy, for once. And I think that is going to be it for the Jake rant. It was a little long, I know, but I have to say it, because it's kind of been to that point of a lot of people are complaining about it. So, let's get to the next thing. And the next thing I'm going to be talking about is a bit of a, it's not really well known if you're not in the mobile, aspect of Dead by Daylight. Even though I don't play mobile, it just, it's a thing, and I just wanted to talk about it because it's pretty important as well. It's a little a little bad, but it just handle with me here. It's about the Claudette disappearance in DBD Mobile. And of course, thank you to our good Twitter boy here, Bevo, for making a thread about the Claudette issue being replaced. And I have a lot of images here of Claudette being replaced a lot, or not being there at all. And of course, it's where you have Fangman here. And of course, yes, I'm saying Fangman. I'm totally sorry if you want me to say Fungman. It's just, it's force of habit. I'm just going to keep on saying Fangman because it's more, well known. So, yeah, thank you. Alright. And as I show you the images, I was, looking through DeadbyDaylight Mobile's Twitter just to see when did this start to happen, because it's more of a recent thing than when it started, because mobile came out, in early later 2019? I cannot remember. It's been a hot minute since mobile came out. But the most, oldest post I could find that that Claudette was switched out with Finman was back in 2022, late 2022. And it happened from there, which is totally crazy, because after that, she was replaced constantly. Art, the main logo of the game, skins, everything in that matter. It was so weird, and a lot of people were noticing it at the time. Now, I could totally understand if it was more of a regional thing, because of course Dead by Daylight Mobile is a regional thing. It's not actually made by the people, not in behavior section. It's made by another, more other people. And of course, it's totally understandable if you switched out Claudette with Fingman for the regional stuff, for, promotion and stuff like that. So that's totally understandable in my opinion, but at the same time, why did you replace Claudette? That's wrong. And you know what I mean when it's wrong. You could have replaced Meg. Meg would probably have been the better option, because, in my opinion, just get Meg out of there, because, I'm not the biggest Meg fan, but, it's kind of odd. And I won't touch on the situation much further, except for the fact that the Descend party, or whatever that collection event was, with the main 4, except for Claudette being there, getting pajamas, and there's Pigman in the front. No Claudette, but thankfully, later down the road, it had pushed on more to people getting upset that Claudette kept on getting removed from promotional content and everything, because she is part of the main 4, and again, it's very high water. You don't replace Claudette, and thankfully, later down the line, she actually did get her own pajama set, along with everyone else, Zarina and Felix and David and stuff like that. So thankfully, it wasn't just, replacing her entirely and not, like, promoting her much in the game. And, thankfully, at the same time, it was just promotion and nothing else. Claudette has gotten many, many beautiful skins since then, and it hasn't just been, we're just ignoring Claudette due to the obvious reasons. So that was definitely something I wanted to talk about, and it was just more of like, if you were in the mobile space, you would have known that happened. And it's really funny how old that is. Like, it just started last year, and it's not, common anymore, but it's just, it was a super weird time for mobile, and I could totally understand if it was a regional thing, but at the same time, it was kind of weird just replacing Claudette like that, and not, explaining yourselves. But, anyway, freaking Blonde Meg, that's pretty cursed. I don't know why Blonde Meg exists, but anyway, let's get to the next one. And oh freaking boy, Roots of Dread, the 6th anniversary chapter. Now, Haddie was a really great installment into Dead by Daylight, and to a lot of people, Haddie means a lot to them. Of course, she was part of the lore and everything, even though I don't read much on Dead by Daylight lore. Older lore, I don't really know much about, except for I learned recently that Haddie was a part of it, and she meant a lot to a lot of the people in the community, which was really awesome, because you usually don't get that from a female character. You should get that from a male character, which is kind of odd for the Dead by Daylight community. Yeah, looking at you, Felix. Yeah, weirdo. But Haddie came out, and unfortunately, she didn't have the greatest come out. I'm just saying. Her store skins were very, very lacking, and she didn't have a lot. And especially with her uncommon, the yellow rarity, whatever it is, trying to top of my head here, they weren't good. They're very similar, and just her character was a little off due to the fact that her hair was kind of weird. Her prestige skin was pretty odd, and just after that, Haddie was kind of just just fully on abandoned from behavior. So after that, it was just super freaking odd of how she got barely any skins with release, and then she got yeeted down the hole of the collection for such a long time till her summer skin came around, and that was the only thing Haddie players had. And don't get me wrong, forgot to mention, she actually was supposed to get 2 other green rarities, but they just never came out. They were never there. So Haddie players did not have anything for her, and her character model was off whack, and the prestige was off whack, and you only getting the summer skin, and that was it. Nothing. Until Vitoro came around. And this is just when fan service was starting to spike in the Dead by Daylight community. You had shirtless Vitoro. 2 of the same skins, just different colors of shirtless Vitoro. And not even long after that, he got another skin. And now, as someone who's playing somebody as, Haddie, what the heck happened here? And that's when the riots started. The big old freaking riots of Haddie getting a new skin. And of course, I'm not going to be showing any of that, because people are pretty toxic. And if you know that one video of the woman protesting, I'm not sharing that. That, after learning what that video's context actually was, you guys are weird. You guys are just, I don't know, it's very controversial, and I'm kind of disappointed. That's just out of whack. And please don't use that video. If you know the context behind it, I'm not going to talk about it here, because that's not, my right to, for someone who is, Caucasian person. So, take that as you will. But after that, it was a very growing protest of Haddie neglect, because over all that time, nothing for Haddie, nothing for Haddie, nothing for Haddie. So, finally, she got her update. And, this is pretty much a good ending for Haddie, because she actually finally got her green rarity skins back. Her gosh darn model was fixed, her cosmetics were fixed, and, it was all pretty much a big happy ending from there. And, of course, Haddie mains are still getting well fed. You guys are getting a skin next week from the Rift, so good from you. And, yeah, this one is kind of surprising that led to a pretty good happy ending, especially with the Claudette one. It's a pretty good, standard, neutral happy ending there, that she was in more promotional stuff and not getting replaced very often. But at the same time, Haddie was kind of in more of that situation of being neglected very much, but finally getting something at the end. So, good for Haddie. And, yeah, I don't know what else to explain for this one. It was just, the downfall, then the mega rise of Haddie, and I hope you Haddie fans are happy that you're stealing Jake's spotlight. So, anyway, let's get to the final one and last one. These are all kind of survivors that are all bundled together, so let's just get to it and finish off this long dang freaking video already. And last but not least, we're going to be talking about the Tome updates from Dead by Daylight. Now, if you remember, back when Skull Merchant came out, there was an announcement that now with each chapter that's coming out after that, you have your end transmission, and then you have, Skull Merchant. Now for that chapter with the new killer and survivor, they're gonna have the spotlight for that tomb. No longer it's just going to be a random, killer and survivor in that matter. And a lot of people were pretty mad about that due to the fact Haddie, Serena, Elodie have not gotten anything from that. And they just, what about them? Are they going to get any lore? Are they going to get a continuation? Because that's pretty unfair to characters who have not gotten anything from that time before the changes. So this kind of brought out an uproar, and of course, the plans are still going. Gabriel and the Singularity are still going to be getting some lore this season. Well, it's in a Rift, not season. I mean, this isn't Fortnite or Apex. Sorry, Dead by Daylight. But yeah, that kind of, it is a little bit of a short thing to talk about, because I am grouping up these 4 lovely ladies into the same section, because it is totally a surprise. And plus, what the heck, dude? I want some Deathslinger lore. That'd be so cool. Why not? I want it. But at the same time, definitely one of those, out of the bunch, Elodie and Zarina are definitely those characters that need something, because it's been a good while since they've gotten anything, and it's just super sad to see it that way. And I'm totally assuming that Haddie's going to get something, maybe a page of lore or something in that matter next to him, so I don't think Haddie will have that much of an issue. But she is getting, sort of lore stuff anyway with the new skin and, descriptions and stuff like that. So I'm not overly complaining about Haddie at the moment, but more than, Elodie and Zarina definitely need something, because, I mean, what the heck behavior? You're ignoring my gals and my twins and my Deathslinger. You're messing with Grandpa here, dude. And it's totally just a big surprise. And, over time, especially because a lot of characters have gotten their tomb lore and, little scraps of lore and whatnot, so it's a total surprise that they just don't, finish off with the characters they haven't yet, and then go for the ones that are brand new. Because personally, for me, I did not care for the Skull Merchant tome. I didn't bother to read. I didn't even get the tome either, because it was just, the only reason I probably would have gotten it was to get Ash. To get the Ash skin, and that was about it. But I just didn't even bother, because why would you? And sure, if you're in the Skull Merchant, I'm not bashing you on that or anything, but it's still a pretty stupid, update to tomb lore and whatnot in that matter. And as we are finally reaching to the end of this neglected discussion, I'm pretty sure that is all I really needed to talk about. Those just 4 main goobers, well, not 4 main goobers, but just the main goobers, the 4 main topics or whatever. Just hopefully in the future these guys do get more attention, but it doesn't seem likely. I mean, with the recent leaks and whatever, it's just shrug, I guess. I'm shrugging right now, like I could not tell you what could come in the future for Dead by Daylight with these characters, because you already know, like I said, the Golden Children are getting more, and, you know, Haddie fans should be happy that she's finally getting stuff. I mean, I feel like, yeah, like, why would you neglect a character like that after what had happened with the fan service stuff and everything? It was just so freaking weird, man. And then you had the mobile crisis of Claudette getting replaced, and it's just the mindset here. But again, it could have just been a regional thing, and really, it just I can't really say much on that. So anyway, if you have a character that you feel like that deserves more attention, let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this type of video, let me know. I also have another discussion video if you wish to check that out. It's a if Spring Chop should be in Dead by Daylight, where I read TikTok comments from a post I made, and we just have some fun. And of course, my Jake mains out there, don't fret, my guys. We will get another skin or lore eventually. I'm really hoping for that, because my man's has just been getting mobile crumbs recently, and I feel like behavior has really just neglected my dude, and I could go on and on about it, because, you know, dead hard Jake fan here. So, anyway, thank you for tuning in for this discussion video, and of course, if you're new here, subscribe, join the Doodle gang, because, you know, we're almost to 80 subscribers, which is totally insane. I really appreciate all the love recently. It means the whole world to me. And if you have a Twitter, I have a Twitter. It's Doodle by Daylight, D-Y light. If you really enjoy cute DVD art and me rambling about whatever and anything like that, please go follow that. And make sure to inform you guys whatever I'm streaming, and I am trying to form a better schedule every Tuesday and Saturday, and hopefully I will be streaming again soon. Last stream was like a total great outcome, so I'm totally happy that that happened, and I'm really happy that you guys enjoy watching me play Dead by Daylight. I enjoy talking to you guys and everything, so it means the whole world to me. I swear it really does. This YouTube has changed me a lot. It's made me a lot happier, and I have a lot of fun talking about stupid stuff like this. Well, it's not like stupid, but it's just fun regardless. But anyway. I hope you have a fantastic day in the fog, and I'll see you in the next trial whenever that will be. Gosh, I just really hope for some Jake stuff soon, because I am dying. Behavior, get on that for me, please. I'll see you goobers later. God damn. My hatch luck has been super lucky, but like, where was that hatch? It was near. I'm guessing it was on the other side. I could not tell where the hell it was. That man with us. A melee goober. Just a melee man.